A Newswatch special from the top of the world, Operation Boxtop, with Michele Ferrari.
Hi everyone, thanks so much for joining us. I'm Michele Ferrari, joined with cameraman Kevin Wheeler, who you can't see. He's behind the camera, and we are on top of the world. Literally, we are in alert, CFS alert, Canadian Forces Station alert, the top of the world in Nunavut, the northernmost inhabited part of the world. We left Trenton at 6 in the morning, but we had to check in at 1 in the morning. We checked in with all kinds of interesting people. You see some of them here behind me. We have artists, we have people who have come here to work on the quarry, we have people who are plumbers, we have military personnel, we have civilians. Most importantly, what we are doing here is Operation Boxtop. It is about a 12-day operation that is biannual, twice a year here in CFS Alert, where they drop off fuel and supplies. Now, there are other supplies that come here. It comes weekly, of course, food, vegetables. Lifeline here. What makes this place run is the fuel, and so Operation Boxtop is hugely important. Today and for the next few days, we are going to get a view of what it's like to live in the northernmost inhabited part of the world. Right now, we're living in 24 hours of daylight, but for 7 months of the year, it's 24 hours of darkness. We're going to find out how they cope and the morale and how you live in an area with just 70 people for 3 months at a time. I can barely talk. My mouth is frozen. It's freezing here. Kevin's hands are shaking, but it's an incredible experience. We're going to see Arctic wolves, snow hares, and it's going to be great. The commanding officer is going to give us the grand tour. This is a show you don't want to miss. Stay with us. Unbelievable. Taking a step off that plane, commanding officer of CFS Alert, Major Todd Murphy. When I stepped off that plane, it is shocking, unbelievable, like nothing else you've seen. The tundra, there's no trees, I guess, is the most shocking part. Absolutely. Thank you so much for having us.
Absolutely, our pleasure.
It's unbelievable. I hope that you're getting a sense of, it's a desert ultimately here.
It is. We have very, very little snowfall throughout the year, and ultimately this is considered an Arctic desert up here.
There is water around us?
There is indeed. If we look basically all around us, there is water. It's the Arctic Ocean, just off to, probably just a kilometer away from here.
Wow. Now, boats, do they bring anything in?
Not usually. This is a very difficult place to access by sea. So typically what we'll do is we'll bring everything in via air, so air transport, mostly through CC-130 Hercules, and as well the C-17 Goldmaster.
Everything we see here has been brought in by plane.
That's essentially true.
Unbelievable. What about wildlife here?
There's a lot of wildlife. Obviously, we have everything from polar bears to Arctic wolves, Arctic hares, muskox, a lot of different types of wildlife up here.
What is the purpose of CFS Alert and the Canadian Forces here? Why are you here?
So obviously part of our biggest mission is to maintain a northern sovereign Arctic outpost in support of all of Government Canada initiatives. This place was originally started back in 1950 with Environment Canada, and that's one of our biggest supporting agencies as well. So we do a lot of work with Environment Canada, we do a lot of support with all government agencies ultimately to do Arctic research up here.
Arctic research, and obviously signal intelligence is something, that's why it originally started in the 50s?
That's right, yeah, around mid-50s, 1957, 1958. This started as a signals intelligence, a wireless station, and it kind of evolved from there.
Why here? What's so special about here? I mean, it just seems crazy that you have to bring everything here. Obviously, there's got to be some importance of its signal, is there something special about the location?
Well, it's certainly a very strategic location up here. We're certainly at the northern edge of the Canadian geography, and because of that, obviously, it's a very unique environment, unique geography, and when you talk about progressing Arctic sovereignty, this is pretty much your ideal location.
Unbelievable. We are here right now, and it's 24 hours of daylight.
That's correct.
It's very nice, it's bright, it's sunny, it's cold. I'm not going to lie, it's very, very dry, and it's very cold. Some climatizing will take me to get used to this. But obviously when it's darkness, 24 hours of darkness, that has got to be mentally the most challenging part of being up here.
It is indeed, and that actually stretches over about a 4 to 5 month period of complete darkness, and that's certainly something that we're very cognizant of, very aware of, and we try to make sure that there's enough activities during off-duty times to allow people to have an opportunity to get out some energy, because it is difficult. You're in that constant state almost of fatigue. And so you have to be able to find a way to get rid of your energy, make sure that you're able to sleep during normal sleep hours, and maintain a normal sleep pattern.
Absolutely. In terms of the people on site here, I've seen already so far lots of military, obviously, but then also civilians.
That's right.
So what's the ratio?
It's almost a 1-to-1 ratio, sort of. What we have is we have Canadian-based operators based out of Collingwood, Ontario, and they provide all of our base support outside of the pure military element that we provide up here. So we have about 37 of those folks on station. They provide absolutely outstanding service to us, maintaining our roads, providing airfield support, providing our meals, and electricity, all that sort of stuff. So they provide all that support services, and they do a great job at it.
I was really surprised at the lack of precipitation that you got. There's actually not that much snow, really, for being in the high Arctic, if you will.
So it's about 6 inches worth of precipitation, which is really minimal when you think about it, and it actually qualifies us as being a desert.
And that's why it's so dry.
Indeed.
Like, to take a breath, I think I've already used 2 bottles of hand cream. It's just so dry. So in total, when we look around, I don't know, Kevin can't get an aerial view per se, but what is the square kilometers of the entire station? The
station itself, I would suggest, I don't know the number exactly, but it's probably about a 10-kilometer radius just right here. And overall, the part that D&D manages and controls is about 100 square kilometers.
And if I wanted to go somewhere else, can I do that? Is there a community next door? Is there a Tim Hortons?
You could. Mall? It's a very long walk. A very long walk. The closest community to here is over 800 kilometers away.
You know what? That's a pretty long walk. So you can't drive anywhere?
No, certainly. Yeah.
So if you had an emergency, say a medical emergency or something, and you needed to get somewhere to the next closest place, where would that be?
The next closest, major center to here is probably Thule, Greenland. So we'd actually have to go to Greenland in order to be able to get those types of services.
In terms of people coming here, one of the things I found most surprising as well on our plane ride up, everyone I met is repeat customers, if you will. Everybody comes back.
Indeed, indeed. You know, CFS Alert has a certain unique sense of community that certainly attracts people to this place. And I think what you'll find over your time here is that people really enjoy being here because it is such a unique experience. It's really a fun and, like I said, unique place to be.
You're with the same people for usually 3 to 6 months. Is that the average of people staying here?
That's correct. From a military perspective, it's usually 3 to 6 months. Some of the civilian employees that are up here as contractors, they're in for 3 months and then they're out for a month, and they just continue that rotation.
And how long have you been here?
So I've been here for 3 months now. So it's
So you were here when it was dark?
Correct. Yeah, when I arrived, there was no light whatsoever. It was a pretty amazing experience to fly in here at around 2 or 3 in the afternoon, and no light whatsoever.
Do you just walk around with flashlights, or how does that work?
We keep some of the station lights on throughout the day, and it just helps to provide a sense of lighting up here. But yeah, beyond that, once you get outside the station confines, there's no light to be found.
Well, we're going to see more. We're going to do more. We're going to take a tour. We're going to see snow hares the size of kangaroos and wallabies and Arctic wolves, and it's just unbelievable. And I'm going to get some more hand cream.
Absolutely.
Okay, thank you so much, Commanding Officer.
Pleasure.
I can't wait to check out CFS Alert. I hope you're as excited as we are.
A Newswatch special from the top of the world, Operation Boxtop with Michele Ferrari.
Right here, this is happening. This is part of Operation Boxtop, dropping off fuel, obviously a huge component of your survival up here. Everything is fuel. So what's going on here behind us?
So what we have is basically a standard offloaded fuel for a CC-130J model Hercules. They're equipped with what we call a BFDS, a bulk fuel delivery system. And inside of that BFDS, we have about 15,000 liters of fuel that they're offloading every time they come in and out of here.
15,000?
15,000
How
liters.
much will they deliver in the time period of Operation Boxtop?
So the goal for this...
Boxtop, sorry.
Boxtop, yeah. So the goal of this operation is to deliver about 1.5 million liters of not just DF8, which is what we're getting out of here, which is basically diesel fuel, but also they'll offload fuel from their wings. And so they'll give us some of their jet fuel that you would normally use just to burn in transit.
So in case a plane landed here or something like that?
That's right, exactly. We would have a surplus supply of fuel in case of any unforecasted requirements.
Wow.
So they're doing that, and as well, part of it is to provide us with ultra-low sulfur diesel fuel. And we use that in all of our vehicles, we call them our plated vehicles, but all of the vehicles that we use around station to try to minimize the environmental aspect and footprint and impact of operating up here in the north.
Obviously, it's worth the while in the government's eyes to maintain CFS alert and to be here, because obviously this is going to be pretty costly to be sending these J model Hercs, to be sending these Globemasters up with fuel. That's going to be a huge cost in itself.
Absolutely. And certainly, the government of Canada has voiced their interest in making sure that we maintain a northern sovereign Arctic outpost up here, and we provide a key value to the citizens of Canada in doing that, because we really are at the apex of the world up here, and so we're able to provide a permanent presence up here in the north, and certainly, with all of the extra activities that we do up here in support of Environment Canada, as well as other approved governmental users, all of those sorts of things make this place a very unique, strategically important place to operate from.
It might sound a little mean, but this is the Trash Man. And that's how he's affectionately known.
That's
Everybody
right.
has these little names here.
I know, it's great, isn't it?
So this is Danny Kelly, and he's sorting. Obviously, waste is a big issue here as well, and you have that in place of how you manage that. What's he doing, and how's he doing it?
So what we have is Dan is obviously going through some of the cans that we had them down south and properly recycle them once
Beer
they
versus
get down.
pop. Go, Danny, go. You're on camera. You're on the 5 o'clock show.
That's right.
Hurry! Faster! Faster!
You're making him build up a sweat.
In alert. That's a big deal to build up a sweat in
That's
alert.
right.
So obviously it's going to go back and be recycled.
And that's exactly it. And obviously you can see that they're all crushed as well, because weight and space on aircraft is a bit of a concern.
You can keep going, Danny.
Yeah. So we
I won't pressure you anymore.
So we want to make sure, of course, that we maximize each of the flights in and out, because they are so precious to us. So to make sure that we minimize, the footprint that we have up here in terms of environmental considerations, and as well also to make sure that we maximize the airlift capability that we have, and make sure that we get as much items out as we can whenever we can is extremely important.
What else is done in here?
So Dan also bales all of the dry goods that we have. So anything that comes with dry garbage, he'll bring in and he puts it into the baler. And basically what happens is he'll put it across and it just gets crushed. And so that gets taken care of up here. We incinerate that. It's just dry waste.
And it's very environmentally friendly incinerated, right?
Well, it is, because what we have is a two-stage incinerator. So the initial stage of the incinerator burns the material themselves. The second stage of the incinerator actually heats up to such a temperature that it actually burns off the excess gas as well. So quite honestly, what gets extracted from all of that is gases, air that is not as environmentally friendly as we could possibly make it.
I think Danny's going to have the beer and pop sorted before we're done. And Danny, the $1 million question: what do you got more of, beer or pop cans?
Pop cans.
Pop cans.
There you go.
All right.
Oh, get it.
2 out of
There you
5
go.
ain't bad.
Not too many people could say that they bowled in
Not too many people say they could bowl at the North Pole.
That's right, yeah.
So Jim Nelson, you work here at CFS Alert. You're with Canadian Base Operations, which are the civilian part of the military here.
You got it.
You are a plumber, but also a water plane operator.
Correct.
So tell us a little bit about, obviously this has got to be a huge component for life here, for
Water is
everybody.
very important, yeah.
So how does it work and how does it get up here and how is it treated?
Well, what happens is we pump it from a lake 2.5 kilometers that way. It's called Upper Dumbbell Lake. And we have 3 submersible pumps in the pump house down there. So the water comes up here and it runs along the wall. There's a heat exchanger, and what we have to do is warm some of it up. So we've got a heated return line that goes back to the pump house, and we dump warm water in the tubes that the pumps are, the submersible pumps, because we have 7 feet of ice and we don't want the pumps to freeze in there if ever to pull one up in the wintertime. So that's why you see 2 lines, not just 1. In the event if we had a catastrophic failure on one of the lines, we can pipe it so that we could get water back up the return line if we had to. If we had a big freeze, hasn't happened, let's hope it never does.
And it's maintained, one of the gentlemen were saying you check it every day. Maintenance is
Every
done
day,
on
yeah,
it.
we drive the pipeline physically every day,
Wow.
just to make sure, because if it's a small leak, you might be able to fix it before we had a
How much
huge
water
failure.
can you hold in here, in the tanks?
Well, we've got 2 tanks of 227,000 liters each. Been up here since September '08. I love it.
Why?
Well, the challenges. We have a good schedule right now. We work here for 3 months and then we're off for a month. And I like to travel, so you know, I get 3 months off every year. Pretty good.
A Newswatch special from the top of the world, Operation Boxtop with Michele Ferrari.
You get dressed and undressed a lot here because you go in and out of buildings and you're not supposed to leave your boots on for cleanliness purposes. So you have to take off everything when you go in. You're not allowed to wear hats or anything for protocol.
I didn't recognize you!
Somebody just realized they know each other. I don't know if that happens a lot at the North Pole, but it just happened. It's true, kids. We found him. I can't believe it. I can't believe it. We're in Santa's workshop. Mommy found him. I don't know where Santa is, though. And where are all the elves?
Well, it's their day off, unfortunately. So we finally came at a bad time, and but still, it is indeed true. You know, we're almost at the North Pole, and we have Santa's workshop in around us.
We're just walking back to go for dinner, and Sergeant Warrant Officer?
Master Warrant Officer.
Master Warrant Officer said, "See the wolf right there?" And I didn't even see it, and she's just sitting there, like on a, what is that she's sitting on?
It's a pallet. It'll be used to, they'll load it up and they'll get it ready to put the stuff on the airplane. Obviously, the older female wolf has found a nice place to bed down on the strap, the cargo strapping, and when they go to move it, they'll come over with the truck, they'll honk the horn, and they'll move her away, and she'll just move, she'll go.
Now, when would she have pups? Do you think she has any pups?
She's past that. I think she's past that stage, and I think that might be one of the reasons that they've the pack has moved her away.
Because she normally would be in a pack, right?
Yes, absolutely. There's a pack of half a dozen wolves. They're at the quarry area. That's where they'll stay, around that area.
This is unbelievable. I just hope people at home get a sense of how incredible this is right now. I have no desire whatsoever to go any closer than I am right now, but it's pretty amazing to be out here, the tip of the earth, and I have an Arctic wolf looking right at us at this very moment, and without any aggressive behavior.
None whatsoever. They don't fear us. They have no fear of us. We don't bother them. We don't go near them. They have no reason to fear us up here. These wolves have grown up here on the station. Their mothers, and their fathers have all grown up in this area.
You want to hang out? You want to play? Want to play fetch? Hey, I got some food. I got something. Come on. Ah! Now, if I look at there's grass under here, Kevin. If you see where he was digging, you can actually see there's a little pile of grass right in here. Aw, they made friends in the Arctic. How cute is that?
A Newswatch special from the top of the world, Operation Boxtop with Michele Ferrari.
So we're currently standing at the northernmost part of CFS alert, which makes us probably maybe the only humans this northerly right now in the world. Potentially. We don't know. Maybe there's other people out there that we don't know about. But also here, a very sombering backdrop. Can you explain what we see here?
So behind us what we have is we're down at the Memorial Road, what we call Memorial Road. And behind us we have the graves of 9 individuals who lost their lives back in 1950 flying a Lancaster aircraft in for a resupply mission. So with that aircraft, it was flying in, and we had no runway at the time. It was doing a parachute drop at low level, and when the parachute left, it got caught in the tail and caused the aircraft to crash, and all souls on board, unfortunately, were lost. So this is their final resting place, and behind us. As well, a little bit further up, we have a second memorial, and that was in recognition of Boxtop 22. And that was a crash that occurred with a CC-130 Hercules aircraft back in 1991, October 30th, 1991. And that aircraft was part of Boxtop, the fall of Boxtop, the wet, dry airlift. It was coming in with a load of fuel, and unfortunately crashed about 15 miles south of here. Fortunately, 5 lost their lives in that crash as well. So this is basically built as a memorial to all those folks, and as well all the people who have come through CFS Alert over the years, and the sacrifices that they have made, both some with their ultimate sacrifice, of course, but others with their personal lives, and being up here and making sure that the station continues to work and operate and be successful.
So, would you like to release the balloon?
I certainly would love to release the balloon.
Okay.
Why are you releasing the balloon?
Because we get a lovely profile, atmospheric profile of temperature, relative humidity, pressure, wind direction, wind speed, and all that information is used for weather forecasting.
For just here or for everywhere else?
For everywhere else. It is. It's sent down to the CDC, the Canadian Data Center in Dorval, Quebec, and that information is then for a regional model, and then it's also used as a global model. So there's hundreds of balloons that are sent up every day at the same time.
Wow.
And are used as for weather forecasting. This is our weather radio song. It's a GPS radio song. This is a GPS antenna that communicates with the satellites up in space.
Why is it so important it has to be released at a certain time?
Because, for aviational purposes, as well as then everybody, you get an accurate, like everybody has been doing at the same time, so everybody has that information, like it's a perfect profile of the atmosphere at that time all around the world. So it's scientifically, it makes sense to do everything at the same time.
And how many of them are being released at the same time?
In Canada, we have 31, and then across the world, hundreds. I don't know the answer to that one, but in Canada we have 31 stations.
Very, very cool.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And I know you're freezing, I can tell.
Can you?
So I think your hand is frozen to the balloon.
Ready? 1,
2, 3.
Hi, Mr. Manick.
Yeah. You're good.
It's probably got to be close to 8, 9 o'clock, everyone. And look at the sun. I'm starting to feel the whole, wow, it's not getting dark. I want to go to sleep, but I want to stay up all at the same time. Welcome to Alert, my friends. Welcome to Alert. From touchdown to takeoff, Kevin Wheeler and I have literally been in CFS Alert for less than 24 hours. We went about 30 hours without any sleep, but we're not complaining. It's been absolutely incredible from the moment we stepped off the plane, and that has been one of the most shocking things, the landscape here. It's literally a desert. There's not a tree, there's nothing. It's like a sea of snow. It's like a snow ocean, if you will. It's shocking and beautiful, breathtaking with the sun. A couple other things so shocking. It's very, very dry here. All of the doors on our rooms have electric tape on them to prevent from static electricity. The food here is absolutely incredible. And above all else, the thing that is most shocking to me is that every single thing you see when you look around has been brought in here by plane. We've had a fantastic time here in CFS Alert, and I hope that you have had an opportunity to experience and get a sense of what it's like at the top of the world. Thanks so much for watching.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Take care.
Thank
Have
you.
a safe trip.